Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer, so let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited. You know, our guest today, we had some issues, but we worked them out, and that's what I love about him. But I've also loved him for years because he's great. But I'm just prefacing today's episode of Kill Me Now with the pediatrician might call me because I have a perfect Kill Me Now moment. Ben is at Tulane playing basketball, and his roommate went home for the weekend, one of his two roommates, and came back and tested positive for COVID. So now he's on a plane home and going to be quarantining in my apartment, and I'm just waiting for the pediatrician to call. And isn't that horrible? Anyway, but who cares? We have Jordan Carlos here today.
Oh my God, Judy, I hope your son's okay. That's all I can think about is.
Well, he tested negative. He tested negative on Monday. Monday, but doesn't it incubate? No one knows what the fuck is going on.
Nobody knows. Maybe Fauci will find a cure for us all and we'll be okay. But
no, I don't believe in science. I don't believe in science. I can't. Can you?
Do you have no more confidence in it?
I just can't believe this shit, Jordan. I can't. You know, like current events never kept me awake at night. I mean, like the AIDS crisis was bad. It was sad, and I was, you know, pumped. But I was younger, and I was like, I'm going to change this. You know, I have never felt like literally every day. It's like, oh my God, like. We're living in a dictatorship. Oh my God, we can't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It's freak show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the longest line ever. It's never ending and you can't get out of it. My little 3.5-year-old asks when the virus will be over. And all I can tell him is all I can say to him is you're saying it wrong. And you know.
Well, you're a good father, Jordan.
I just promise him the moon. It's actually pretty awesome. He's like, can we go to Disney World? Absolutely, when the virus is over. Can we go on all these trips? Yes. Yeah, when it's over, you can do that. You know, but
so
in the meantime,
what's his name? What's his name?
His name's Malcolm. We thought he would look like Malcolm X.
And what does he look like?
Malcolm Gladwell.
He looks like Malcolm Gladwell. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little different than Malcolm X. But both brilliant people. Both brilliant.
They're both brilliant. I would have preferred X. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it.
The first one came out.
How old's the first one?
She's 7.5. She's brown like me. I doubled down on brown. And I was wrong.
Why did you think that you were going to have both brown? Like, you know,
I don't know. I don't know.
This is a fascinating, Jordan. This is a fascinating conversation because their life. One is going to have a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Same genetics, but. And so, all right, this is going to be, and you can tell me if I'm racist, which I don't think I am. I mean, I check, but if you had to have it, one being very light skinned and one being very dark skinned, and you had to pick a gender for each.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's an interesting quandary. I mean,
right?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer it, but it definitely is what it is. My son definitely does what he wants to do, and people let him do what he wants to do. He's like got blonde, curly hair, and he does and my daughter more or less plays by the rules. I don't know if that's already socialized. Like he was getting on a John Deere mower yesterday. He was like at this construction site, and the guys were showing him around, and he's a golden boy. So I mean.
So you see that
part of me was like,
it's an interesting thing because, you know, you're a person of color and, you know, you're raising a kid to have this identity, but that people are treating differently. like his father is a male of color. I mean, look, I really want to talk about what's going on in the country as far as racism is concerned, because, my son, but we're starting with your upbringing and then we'll go into that. But my son, my older son, and my younger son, my younger son plays basketball. He's always one of the only white kids, doesn't give a shit at all, And my other son, Henry, his best friend is African-American growing up, and his roommate in college, and they went to IU. And when they had to drive to the airport, DeAndre had to take a different route that was about 20 minutes longer. So he didn't go through the KKK area. And it was, and just because I'm bringing my kids up in New York, and it's very diverse here, and they've always had a diverse group of friends. As a mother, I can't imagine. I mean, I already worry because I'm a Jew, but that's the Jew bell.
What the bell is?
Yes. But I already worry, but I can't imagine what it's like to drive while black,
Right. With a white son. Well, I really fucked it up, Judy. That's really what it is. But I love him, and that's
of course.
The important part.
When you pick him up, are people like, wait, whoa, hey?
They totally are, but he dispels all that by screaming my name, screaming daddy. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, this guy adopted a nice white kid. I don't know.
Is that what people think? Is that what people think?
People have asked if he's adopted, and I'm like, where am I going to get
First of all,
white
right,
baby?
Exactly. How long have you lived in this country? Oh my God.
They're not handing them out.
So Jordan and I were supposed to meet. We were supposed to do this like a month ago. And then I call, we're in the middle of we had just started, and then no signal. So then he's moving all over. He went to Maine. You can't be African-American and go, that's no. Can't be African-American and go to Maine, but I don't even want to go to Maine. You know what I mean? All right. Anyway.
It's very white.
It's like Nantucket. Nantucket is so white.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah. I've been to Nantucket. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? It's on some Get Out shit. It's like Martha's Vineyard is like, okay.
Yeah.
But that is like next level.
Yes.
That is crazy. No, I don't even, no.
It's so funny because I'm not African-American. I'm a lesbian. I'm a Jew. If I go someplace to do a gig and there's no people of color, I literally feel uncomfortable. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even imagine what you feel. It's like Nantucket freaks me out.
When I'm in Maine, I've been going there for 20 years, so they know me. I'm the black guy. I'm the summer black guy. If I weren't there, they'd be like, well, I don't know what happened. I'm the whole black neighborhood to that island.
You're the
I'm
Are they nice to you? Are they nice to you?
They're very nice. They're very nice.
Is it too? Is it too
maybe
nice?
Too nice? Perhaps. They're probably sizing me up. Yeah. I don't know. I'll take whatever it is. It's one of those communities where you have to drive around in a golf cart and say hi to everybody, which is just I'm ruining days when I do that. But that's what it's like.
Well, so you were in Maine and we tried to do it, and then we set up. You were like, no, there's no internet. They're coming to fix it. So we set up another time, and then I'm at the beach, but I didn't go to the beach. And Laura, the producer, and I are sitting here waiting for you to sign on, and you never fucking signed on. And then I was okay, Jordan is I think of him, I know the flakes in this business, and I've never thought of you as a flaky person. And I was like, oh my God, Laura, I can't fucking believe it. She's like, I don't know. And then I had to, because I was thinking about it all day, I had to write an email saying, look, I love you, but that was not which I would have just brewed usually, like 15 years ago, I would have been like, and now I'm 57. I don't fucking give a shit anymore. And you were like, oh my God, I was about to write you, but whatever. It was so annoying. I can't even tell you. It's like something my kid would do, but.
Do you know what happened right after that?
What?
Because I felt so bad and guilt-ridden. And I've been swimming in the ocean in my bodysuit in Maine, and one island over, shark attack happened.
Oh, that woman.
For the rest, yes, that woman. So I was then terrified for the rest of my time in Maine that I would be eaten by sharks. So I did bad by you.
Okay, it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with me. So that I thought you felt bad.
I was terrified. Yeah. I was terrified.
I'm on the Cape, and there's a lot of sharks on the Cape, but I'm in Provincetown, so we have the bay, and they don't come to the bay because it's too gay. So the sharks, but you can't wear a wetsuit. You can't wear a wetsuit. They think it's a seal.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until that lady. Yes, but I had one on because it's Maine and it's like so freezing the water. So I go in and
get like an orange one or a yellow one or something. You can't get.
I can't go. I'm already sticking out. I can't then go and get like an orange jumpsuit. Black man in orange. I would look ridiculous.
You look good in orange. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's one of the colors Black people can wear. Now I feel like. But the lady got eaten, and then I was terrorized, and I thought to myself, because this is kind of weirdo that I am, if I had never done, if I had just made the time for our meeting, made it on time, not been an idiot about that, then that lady would maybe not have died. And that's your fault.
It is absolutely your fault. I think you should call the family. I'm telling you right now. So, that's awful. She was with her daughter. Horrible. Jordan, your story is, I love your story. You grew up in Texas. Suburb outside of Dallas. Your father, OBGYN.
Correct.
Your mother, professor of literature.
Wow. Thank you for doing this research, yes.
Oh, I always do. Yeah, I had it done a month ago, ass. Anyway. And your mother was from Mississippi farmers. She was an African-American who owned land. They owned land.
Yes.
How did that work?
That was confiscated Confederate land. So it was confiscated and then sold by the Union at a discount to freed Blacks or anyone that could buy it at auction. So that's what happened there. And they were, it was just an interesting thing. Like they were able to kind of raise their own crops, make their own life. And I really love how it's affected my family in a good and positive way, because they're very much like independent self-starters, never thinking that they're better than anyone else, but just like there by the grace of God go I, and just thriving people, really good thriving people. And it makes me like, every time I go see my family, it's fucking awesome, because so many people are always like, I can't have Thanksgiving dinner with people. We don't see things the same way.
Right.
We all see things the same way.
That's amazing. Your ancestors were slaves, I assume.
Yes.
Since they got that land. Do you have, because they owned land, because I know so many people who don't know their roots because of, this fucking country. They bring you over. They bring African Americans over against their will. They're 3/5 of a person, and there's no ledger,
sense of identity
really,
or groundedness.
Anything. And so, do you have, because they were landowners? Do you have more history than?
I went back. I went back and in the census, and you could kind of look and see, what the records of your family and see the birth records and things like that. So I saw that actually they go back in Mississippi all the way to 1800. And before that, yeah. And so before that, though, my family was then in Virginia. So they were sold and came down from Virginia to Mississippi. So they had been in Virginia. My guesstimate is that they were in Virginia around the early 1700s. Late 1700s, made their way from Africa, Virginia, down to Mississippi, and then after manumission and after emancipation, they were able to buy their own land. But the thing about it is, whenever I get like too down on things, I'm just like, my family never turned its back on this country, no matter what, even though they were brought here, forcibly brought here. We've had people that have fought in wars. None of them have died. I think it's because, we were forcibly brought here. But, it's been a net positive, freedom, obviously, for my family. But we're not. I always think that like it's been exception to the rule. Like
right. That's why I find you so fascinating. It's like people are talking about reparations now, and I hear Caucasians. I hear and I'm thinking you were not. You can't compare what your ancestors went through to what immigrants who willingly came here went through.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's sort of the missing link. As a Jew, they did give reparations. Plenty places in Europe.
I want that bell for black.
I know it's
I want a
horrible.
black bell. Yeah.
I want to do both. I should get all right. But as a Jew, like, no, it's like there were reparations given for the Holocaust. Not great, but of course, and I really want to be smart about this, because I feel like our government has tried to keep African Americans down, have petty crime. They're in jail for the rest of their life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, the racism is ridiculous, but I feel like you're so patriotic, right? Right.
I try to be. I think it's like this. I think the trap would be, the pitfall is to think that there's an essentialism about my family that makes them different from other African Americans, and that's not true. Right. It's just that we were fortunate and lucky. That's all there is to it, right? So I would never want to split us up in that way. But at the same time, I do understand. I mean, like, obviously, like, I was reading this article about how it takes 287 years for the average black family to catch up to the average white family as far as the wealth gap is concerned. Right. Which I think is, that's what it is. Is like, if we can, face the guilt of the original sin of slavery, I think we will heal. It's just that people just keep putting it off and putting it off and believing the myth of their own great exceptionalism. Right. Like, that you did, like laugh. Maybe your grandfather. Yeah.
It makes me laugh because it's like, you're so not exceptional. You're like, look at you. You won't even wear a fucking mask, you asshole. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to wear a mask. It's free country. It's like, it's so, I don't know. It's so.
Oh my God.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Yeah. I mean, but that's a myth. The myth is dangerous.
Years. Right.
Yeah. 287 years. That's right. I mean,
and that's basically when people were coming over here. So it takes, that's when they were bringing people over. So all right.
It takes some fucking time.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did your parents meet?
They met, my dad was on a date with another woman, and my mom was on a date with another guy, and they went to go see some like movie. It was like I think it was like Love Story or some shit. They were like at the movies, and my mom went out for like Goobers or Raisinets. I can't remember. But then my dad was like, tried to talk to her at the snack stand, and she was like, absolutely not. And then my dad had, and then that didn't go well. He had his gallbladder removed. He saw her in the hospital and tried to she was just like visiting somebody in the hospital.
No fucking way.
Tried to like follow her down the hall. That did not work. And then finally he went he just saw, because they went to the same college. So
Right.
so he just talked to her. He's like, why didn't you talk to me in the hospital? She's like, I don't know you. But then he just, I guess they used to call it romance, but now it's stalking, and he was persistent and he was persistent, and he wanted to be with her. So
that is so true, Jordan. That would now be, you're making me feel uncomfortable. I need a restraint. It's so true. Oh my God, that's so true. People get to pine after, and finally one of them would be like, all right, I'll give you a try. But now that would be no.
Yeah. That's why we can't read Green Eggs and Ham anymore.
Right.
You know, it's like yes, I don't want these green eggs and ham. So yes, I mean, I wouldn't be around if it weren't for my dad's persistence. And he just wanted to, yeah. And they're still together. They're
Where did they go to college?
They went to Michigan State together.
Oh.
So like, yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's a happy story, you know?
Which number child are you?
I'm the middle child.
I think I had that written down. Yeah. I'm the youngest. I feel like there's a lot of younger comedians. Yeah. Youngest, because we're no one pays fucking attention to us. So, all right. So you grew up. First of all, I want to talk about the back brace, and
sure,
I want to talk about.
Please don't.
Josh Goldberg. Okay, I need to talk about Josh Goldberg. First of all, so you grew up in a Tony sort of town, correct?
Yes.
And you often call yourself, which we're going to get into, the token black friend, or the and which I find so. I've been the only Leslie, and I've been the only Jew a lot of the times,
Right.
And you think you're there, and you're like, okay, they're being really nice to me. But as my mother always said, they all hate us. They call you a dirty Jew the minute you leave the room. And you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it.
Right.
But they do.
They do. They do. Of course they do. I mean, like, that's part of life in America.
Right.
It's like the second somebody leaves the room, you're going to talk shit about them anyway.
Right.
So most likely that would be it. And then it would always be like the differences would come out if like if we had a swimming party, or if we had like look at your hair, and does your skin why do you need lotion? And making you feel like other all the fucking
time.
Right?
And they do it in this way, like I always get, can you eat this? Or is it okay if we, and I'm like, oh my God, shut up. But it's so patronizing, and they think they're being, well, I asked him if he needed it. It's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. But you were kind of popular, right? You said you hung out with the bullies.
I hung out with the bullies, but that doesn't mean you're popular. It was just like, you remember the Karate Kid?
Yes.
I hung out with the guys that would be like, oh, he's going to need a body bag.
Right.
Or the guy that was like, nice roundhouse, Johnny. That was like my job. And I had like a kind of like a cackle when we would like knock the shit out of somebody. Like, like that.
Did you feel now, I was a bullied kid. So when I was listening to this story, I was like, oh God, I feel so bad for Josh. But I feel like all the kids who bullied me, which was pretty much everyone, do they even remember? Like, remember? Did they have any idea the impact they had? No, right?
Bullies are there. They don't really remember. They go around almost like the tax man.
Right.
They just go around like the tax man. So if you're getting too confident, and they resent that happiness, that's what I would always see, was my friend resented the happiness of other people. And that's all he was doing, because he was hurting. So he just resented that happiness, and he was just going to take it down a level, just take him down a peg. That's what he always say.
To make himself feel better.
Yeah. He's like, let's just take him down a peg. Like, that guy needs to be taken down a peg. Like, we'd be like, oh, okay, boss. And then we go off and do something horrible. But did your mother know you were hanging around with the bullies? She was aware, I'm sure. but like, that's the thing about bullies is usually they're like sociopaths and they're very good with adults. That's why they
Right.
get by. Yeah.
Right.
So it really came home for me when I was fitted with a back brace because I had scoliosis.
Right.
And that was the one that they're like, look at that guy. We got to take that guy out. We got to slam him on the ground, let him think that he can't get up. Like, let's see, like a little turtle situation. So they would like push him to the ground. He'd try to get up like a turtle.
This is Josh.
He couldn't.
Josh Goldberg.
Yeah. Josh Goldberg. And so like,
he had a back brace, right?
He had a back brace. He had braces. He had glasses.
Do you know what he's doing now? Josh
I believe
Goldberg?
he's a DA. I believe
right.
he's a DA.
Exactly. I'm saying this for any kids who are listening. You're gonna fucking survive, okay? Josh Goldberg. Okay, and I bet he's really good looking. Yeah.
He's a good looking guy. I think he's still got all his hair. Let me ask you this: to what extent was I helping him then?
You weren't helping him. I mean, do you think
to be a lawyer? To be a lawyer, like now
right?
he's like,
yes, I turned out to be a comedian, and I want to control the laughter and tell everyone off, and then he's a DA. He knows what it's like to be a fucking victim, and he's going to stick up for the victims. Right?
Do you think he would have been? Exactly. Do you think he would have been had it not been for me? I think that's what I tell myself.
You are. Well, you're the reason the woman in Maine died, and you're the reason. You get a back brace, right?
Yes.
And your whole life changes, right? How old were you?
I was 12, maybe 13 years old. My brother was super sweet about it. He's probably one of the most generous people I know. And he's like, we're going to get through this, buddy. We're going to wear this back brace at night. And you and I are going to get through. He's such a sweetheart.
What does he do?
He's the best. He works at Morehouse College, and he's the head of alumni affairs there.
I'm doing a black belt. Okay, for Morehouse College. Okay.
So he's Mr. Black College man. So, but he's just so gregarious and generous and awesome. And so he's going to help me through. And it really is. He's night after night. We're getting into that back brace. It's hot in Texas. It makes me sweat. It's terrible. I'm bullying Josh during the daytime and wearing this back brace at night. Mm-hmm. And, but then I hit a growth spurt, and then they're like, well, listen, you're going to have back surgery. So then I have the back surgery. I have to learn to walk again. I dropped to 120 pounds.
Wow.
My mother,
Are you 13 or 14?
At this point, I'm 13. My mother's like lifting me up and taking me to the bathtub.
Oh.
It's exactly what every 13-year-old boy wants. I can't talk to girls anymore on the phone. I can't do it. I've got like a cheese wedge thing bed in the living room.
I have a question. Since you did know someone named Josh Goldberg, were you invited to a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs? Because this is the bar and bat mitzvah time. The 13 years old.
Here's the lucky thing. I did get to go to a myriad of bar and bat mitzvahs. I think I know more Torah portion pound for pound than a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. If you didn't invite the black kid, you were racist. So I got carte noire to almost every single one.
But you had to buy the gifts. That's the worst part. Oh my God.
It's like a $30 gift. It's nothing.
Oh my God. No, they got bad. When my kids were getting, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have to give them $54 every week. Sometimes there were two, it was like, I'm spending like $500 a month on these fucking more. If they were good friends, it was like, $200. I couldn't take it. All right. So you did around a bunch of Jews. So that was good. But did you have the back brace at the bar mitzvahs and the bat mitzvahs?
I did not, although the moment I would get home, I would have to put it back on.
Right.
And so it was like Cinderella's slipper. But like I got to go, I got to have fun. Whatever. We cut the challah, we did the fucking, people, there was nachas. Help me. yes, the whole mishpilka.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
I learned a lot. I fucking learned a lot. That's how I got into comedy and everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have this. How long did you? I mean, this is like a defining moment in your life. This back brace, because you could have turned out to be a big fucking asshole had you not had this back brace. Correct?
Can I tell you? Yes.
What?
Do you know who visited me in the hospital?
Who? Josh
Not a lot of
Goldberg?
yes, he found out, and they came and they visited me. And
Okay. Fuck you for being me. You owe Josh Goldberg. You better send him something.
I'll send him something now.
Did his
I
mother
will.
come too?
You got me thinking about him now. No, it was I think it was like our teacher, and he came, and that was it. But he was very nice.
Did you feel guilty ever?
Of course I felt guilty.
Okay.
Can I say something? Guess you didn't have to have the surgery. Josh Goldberg. Do you understand? He wore the back brace all day long and he was fine.
Right.
I only wore it at night, thought I was being slick, and had to have the back surgery.
And maybe if you hadn't been an asshole to Josh, you wouldn't have had to have the surgery. Okay. So then, so you end up having the surgery. How does that affect your high school years?
How it affected my high school years was this. It was the most humbling experience ever. I learned that there are limitations in life. I could not play football. I could not, which I loved so much. And then I had to stop, and I was sidelined from doing that. And I could not play soccer, which I loved so much.
Pun intended, sidelined. Pun intended. Yeah.
Sidelined. Yes. I speak only in sports terms.
Yeah.
But I found what I love to do, which is improv comedy. So it's like I could still do improv comedy. I could, and it wasn't even a thing that I was like really all that into. But then it was all I had to do was talk, move a little bit.
How did you look? Were there classes? Like I didn't want, I'm older than you, and we didn't have. There was no improv comedy classes around.
My mother suggested that I do it. My mother has the best taste in comedy.
I love your mother. I know. I have that. She got you into stand up. She loved Jerry Clower, Bill Cosby, Monty Python. Yeah, I have it all.
Yes. And so I mean, just think about that. That's just so rare. You know what I mean? And then she got me into that and encouraged me, stuck with me. And yeah, it showed me like how humbling, life could be, that I was limited in certain ways. But then when I would do comedy, you just realized you have other abilities. And where some people are, are kind of like, handicapped in one way, you're not in another. So it's like, fucking go. She was like, just lean into it. Just go for it. Have fun with it. You're having fun. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Who were your favorite comics, growing up?
Back then they remain the same. It was like when I was a kid, I was way into Dave Attell. Like I had the early Dave Attell album, Skanks from the Memories. So I would listen to Skanks from the Memories, and I would then just listen to anything. Of course, Robin Williams, and then it's like I remember Margaret Cho was like, I was like, who is this lady with her show? Like I was fascinated with people that I would see do stand up and then make that into a sitcom. I thought I was on that sitcom.
I was on that sitcom, the Margaret.
You were on Margaret Cho's?
Yeah, that's why I have this house. I took the money I made from that show and I bought this house in Provincetown in 1994. Yes, I play. Why? The only best friend she can have on the show, the first Asian American family, and they have someone 6'3" on the show. That's great. So it was me and Maddie Corman were her friends. But yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned a woman. Because most guys I interview never mention women comics.
That was my introduction to comedy. Was Carol Burnett, right? Sit down, watch Carol Burnett with my mom. Sit down, watch Lucille Ball with my mom. Sit down, watch Golden Girls. It was a lady introducing me to comedy.
Right, and also it's fascinating you're not gay if you love the Golden Girls. Now. And you also enjoyed Judy Gold, right? Okay.
Oh, Judy Gold.
Oh, please stop.
Come on. I already told you that. You were one of the first people that I saw in the city.
You told me that when we got disconnected. Wait, I'd love to hear that story again. What was that story?
I feel like I need to get you a gift, by the way.
Oh.
Okay, so here's what happened. I was like, do I want to make the leap from improv comedy, which is all, as we know, like everybody's happy.
Right. And also you have to say yes all the time. Yeah. Right. Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's why I can never do improv, because I'd be like, no, it's not. What are you talking? It's not raining. Okay, go ahead.
Like, it's not funny if you say no. Right. If you say no, it can't be funny.
Right.
So I was doing that, and I was taking classes at the UCB, but then I was like, there's something about stand-up, and I want, because I'd always watch stand-up, and I wanted to figure out how to do it, how to get into it, So then I just went to 22nd Street. I went to Gotham Comedy Club back when it was there.
Oh, I loved it.
And I went in one night, just, paid my way, and you were on, Bill Burr was on. I think very Christian Finnegan, I believe, was on. But you destroyed. You came in at the end and you destroyed, Judy. You absolutely destroyed. And I was such a fanboy. I don't, what did I have to say to you after? I was like, you were great. And I don't know how you make the jokes and everything, because you make everything so conversational.
Right.
On stage. So I was blown away at how conversational you made the experience, because all the other comedians were kind of it was not
set up,
rote, but it was not. Yes. Yeah.
Which is why, that's why I don't like doing short sets on late night shows. I'm so much better on the panel. Yeah. The first time I did Leno, I was on the panel and it was great. And then I did a set following John McCain, who was, and the audience was not for a big, loud Jewish lesbian, but it's so hard. People don't realize, just because you can do 6 minutes or on a late night show doesn't mean you can work a club for an hour or get, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely not. Yeah.
So,
it's a totally different piece.
So were you popular in high school? Did you go to the prom? Did you? I hated high school. I'm fascinated with football because I was so unpopular. I didn't go to the prom. I was in the marching band. Yeah, it was bad. Okay, so
I muddled through high school. High school went fine. Got good grades. Yes, but when it came to prom, I met a nice girl. All the nice girls that I ever met lived so far from me. It was insane. I was they would live 30 miles away. So my prom date, I was on my way to pick her up, and I got in a massive car wreck. And hold applause, stay seated. And then I wrecked my mom's beautiful luxury car, and then my father. It was a BMW.
You're an asshole. Okay. Did you hurt your back?
Huh?
But was it your fault? And B, did you hurt your back again? Go.
It wasn't my fault. I was so scared I would hurt my back. It did not. It did not hurt my back. Knock on wood. But it crumpled her corsage, and that we could never get.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that is awful. So
that was a casualty.
So wait, what happened? You went to pick her up and you never got there?
I picked her up. My dad had to come get me. We go get her. Then we go to prom. Now, here's the thing. It's also daylight savings. I didn't know that. And then
you were late?
No, that happened at midnight. The prom ends. Daylight savings happens. My dad was supposed to pick us up. I was like, where are you? It was either we were falling forward or backwards. Right. He wasn't there. So finally,
it's backwards in June, right? Yeah, it's backwards.
It's backwards. And so we're just,
you're waiting and waiting. Yeah.
I'm waiting. Now that was my senior prom. My junior prom, I was going to take this lady, this girl who went to school with me. I show up to her door, and she'd taken off to Costa Rica with her boyfriend.
No fucking what? That's awful. Were you in a tux?
I was in a tux. So what I did was I drove around all night. I went to Jack in the Box and La Madeleine.
And you bought tickets for the prom?
Of course I bought
Wait, who answered who answered the door?
Just her dad, who's like this really very imposing federal judge.
Wait.
Okay,
this is mental. You ask someone to the prom, you get like, did you follow up? Like, I'll be there at 6:30 or?
Not as much as I should have.
Apparently.
And I was just like, well, I left it on her voicemail, like, I'll see you tonight at 8. Because I'd asked her months before, and she and Paul, went to Costa Rica. Fuck Paul. But
Paul,
you know
you're
what?
A fucking asshole. What?
It's all my fault, Judy.
What is she doing now? That's what you did to me. That's why. Yeah, that's what you did to me. So you're getting back at her by not showing up for our fucking. All right. Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of Kill Me Now with Jordan Carlos. I love that guy. If you like the show, which, I mean, how can you not? Make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps more people find this amazing podcast. 5 stars only, please. And speaking of 5 stars only, if you have not purchased my book, Yes, I Can Say That, When They Come for the Comedians, We're All in Trouble, you are in big, fat, hairy trouble. It's great. The audiobook, which has my beautiful voice, was featured in New and Noteworthy in the New York Times Book Review. So what the fuck is your excuse? Robin Bronk, who is the head of the Creative Coalition, said that she loves the book so much because she calls it the game of life version of the First Amendment. And an Amazon reviewer said that each page I turned made me feel like I was getting smarter as I laughed. Okay, so there's no excuse. There you go. It means so much to me. If you would just check it out. You can order the book on the homepage of judygold.com. There's a whole bunch of links there. Wherever you buy books, independent bookstores, I'd love to support them. Go get it. I think you'll really love it. Yes, I Can Say That, When They Come for the Comedians, we're all in fucking trouble. And then go on Amazon and give me a 5-star review. Thank you. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for all upcoming shows, virtual shows, information, funny photos, and all dates, everything. At Judy Gold, JEWDYGOLD, like Jew Gold. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, wear a fucking mask, vote. And as we always say, so long.
Don't forget to tune in next week to Just Kill Me Now.
It's Just Kill Me.
Oh. Don't forget to turn for part 2 on Just Kill Me.
No, it's not. It's
Just Kill Me.
No.
Judy Gold's Just Kill Me.
Just.
Just Kill Me Now.